I went to school in London, Ontario, I mean, it was like cold and you'd be in a foot of snow and I'm wearing my toes are hanging out of a boot
Oh.
walking across campus and it was not for me anymore. So
I did want to say, by the way, I saw you at Scottsdale a couple weeks ago when you were playing at the Acoustic.
oh, very cool. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was awesome. I did not think I was going to enjoy an acoustic show for 2.5 hours, but
They did a good job. Yeah, Chase was great too, Hannah, and that was fun.
that came better and better. I really enjoyed that. So what a show, great show you put on.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
But what I did want to start from there is just going through your website and you got some pretty good merch.
That's good. Yeah,
Like I said, I love the t-shirts are great. I love the what's the red flag hat? What's that represent? What's the name for it?
well, the Red Flags is I have an older song out called Red Flags.
Okay.
It's one of my more popular ones, and yeah, we just thought it'd be cool to put it on a hat, and if you're a red flag, I guess you buy a hat. So
I mean, there's like just another layer of like responsibilities you got to do now as an artist besides singing, performing, songwriting. You got to really put
I
out good
feel
merch.
like I feel like it all depends on the artist. I'm super passionate about being involved with the creative stuff and designs and trying to keep things fresh. So I feel like yes, it's part of my job, but it doesn't have to be. I just choose for it to be.
I mean, you go through the whole design process. You throw stuff out and say, no, we can't do this. Try something else. Try something better. Like
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes we get designs back or, logos or whatever it is, and I'm like, no, this is not going to work. And then other times it's really easy and it's great. So, but fortunate, I have a lot of people that get to, help with that. So,
So with that, I was going to say, well, by the way, who was your first concert T-shirt you had?
dang, that's tough. I feel like it was a Guns N' Roses shirt. I think that was one of my first ones, which I probably just bought at like a cheap store. But yeah, no, I love a good band or a old graphic tee.
Did you have an old Ozzy shirt or anything like that? Or
I don't have an Aussie. I just bought a Cinderella shirt when I was in the when I was well just before we came to London, which was cool. I mean I just grew up my dad listened to a lot of like hair metal bands and stuff like that. So yeah.
oh, that's total throwback. Well, did you enjoy playing with Mama Coming Home? Did you like do that as a tribute to him?
I mean it wasn't supposed to be like necessarily like a tribute. I had the idea prior to him passing, which was obviously super sad and but just always wanted to put that song in the set. We had covered different songs, other rock songs or older style songs like that, and he was doing his farewell at like his last show, and I had mentioned to the band it would just be really cool in general just to put Mama I'm Coming Home in the set, and then he ended up passing, which was sad, and it was just like I felt like. I wanted to record that song. The way the emotion of that song is something that's always been impactful on me. My dad was a huge fan, and that's kind of like always been a moment for us. So felt like I needed to do that.
Now, are there things? Do you put a lot of work, a lot of thought process into like remake songs? Is it something that's like passionate to you? Some song that really meant a lot to you growing up that you
I
want
think
to
it
do that?
ha like for me like it has to just like my own project. I feel like I have to feel like the song's impactful to me. It's got to mean something to me if I'm going to sing it. And for me to just cover a song randomly that I don't care about, I just can't personally do. It's tough for me to like fake that I care about something if I don't. So I mean that's one of the few times that we've recorded a cover. We recorded a song called Iris 2, which was one of my childhood favorite songs, with Through the Goo Goo Dolls. And so those are the only two that I've really done. And I'm kind of selective with it, I guess.
Now, are you on tour now, or are you
We're kind of
stopping?
wrapping up. We just got a couple more weekends of radio shows, a couple more like little festival style things. So finally get some time to get back to writing, which has been a lot of fun. I haven't been writing near as much, just with being gone so much. So it's nice to be back at home.
How does that work for you? I mean, is it a 9 to 5 job now once you get back home doing it, or is it just you when you're inspired?
I mean, I'm at the office here right now, so I'm just, but today's more like, interviews and hanging out and taking meetings and stuff like that. And then I have days like, yesterday that is a scheduled day for me to write. And I wrote with a couple people yesterday, which was Awesome. And then I go back to on the road tomorrow. I fly out to Florida tomorrow morning and play a show in Florida tomorrow night. So
Oh,
this
nice.
this week's a balance of all three shows, writing, and meetings. And so it's good.
Now, I didn't realize last year you did Waste Management Open, the Bird's Nest in
Yeah.
Scottsdale.
Yeah.
How crazy was that doing electricity?
Yeah, wild. I mean, I've gone there just to party and have fun. So it was cool to get to go there and actually play the show. And yeah, Bird's Nest is just special. I love all those people a lot to put on that festival. And yeah, Scottsdale's a very fun but dangerous place. So
True, very true. I mean, have you taken up golf yet? Is that something that every country artist
uh,
now has to start
I wish
doing
I
on the
could
road?
say I was good at golf. I'll play. I'm not great, but I enjoy it, and it's nice to get out with some people and just kind of to hang out and chat. So I'll say yes, I like golfing. Do I golf enough? No.
True. Well, did you have as far as golf? I mean, is there any sport that you've taken now as maybe an outlet from football? Is there something that you've really picked up to replace that?
Honestly, no. I think, my big replacement for football was finding music and just pouring my feelings and emotions into something else other than the gym or on the field. And so that's been kind of my thing. I feel like I go not in regards to sports. I think the little like things like I've really taken up fishing more and outdoor stuff. Working on some older vehicles like trucks and stuff like that is something that I enjoy. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't really found another necessarily like sport.
I mean, did you jump on the Blue Jays bandwagon this year, or
I felt I'm not like a crazy baseball, like I don't watch all year long. I had to watch. I mean, obviously being from Ontario, but also I would say, half of my family is in Santa Monica in California. So it was like there was a group chat for my family. It was like everybody was heckling each other and picking on each other. So it was cool to have the World Series going on and having two teams that I grew up watching and feel a part of face each other. So
what your days playing? You're a defensive back. Were you more cornerback, more safety? What was your
I was safety and halfback. So I was short side of the field usually in coverage and then safety also. Yeah.
what was your more defensive oriented, more offensive oriented? What was your
I was very much a defense guy. I'd rather hit people than be hit. That was always my thing. And I was not good at catching. So I was always better to knock a ball down than receive one. So
so more like an enforcer type than like a
yes,
lockdown?
this is true. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I was great at coverage. I was never meant to be a receiver or somebody that handled the ball really. So
I mean, obviously you play, well, not obviously, but did you guys play like Canadian rules or CFL rules?
yeah, in college or college university in Canada, it's CFL rules. Yeah.
I mean, how did college work out for you? Well, first
I
off,
mean,
if I may back up just a little bit, what were some of what was your scouting report like when opponents were looking to work against you? How did they scout you? What was your
my thing was just I was really fast, so I was lucky that my coverage was always really really great, and I was physical. So I think my thing was always just like try to go out at the beginning of the game and hit somebody as hard as I can, and then they don't want to come across and catch a ball again. That was kind of always my tactic, whether that was smart or not. I sometimes would injure myself hitting other people. So, but no, it's an interesting sport. It's such a obviously physical, but mental and um, yeah, but no, I loved playing in college and university. Obviously got injured. Being scouted was like a really cool thing coming out of high school. I was, in great shape. Got to do like the combine testing and, your 40-yard dash and your vertical jumps and your bench press and all that kind of stuff. And I was lucky just to be overall strong and athletic. So
what were your numbers back then?
I think like 225, I used to be able to do like 12 or 14, which is crazy. I can get not that anymore. We were just talking about broad jumps and vertical jumps the other day, but I think broad jump was like 10 or 11 and vertical was like 32. I used to run a good 40 though. I think my 40 was like a 4.5 or 4.47 or something like that. So I had a good 40-yard dash time.
Why do all country artists go from football into me? I mean, how does that work? I mean, there's
I
probably
have
an
no
all pro
idea.
team you guys can put up here.
I have no idea why it translates. Honestly, like football for me was just like I loved it, but like it was also just I was in school and I liked playing and it gave, I had a scholarship and it helped pay for school. So for me, um, music's felt more like I have to do this and I need to do this. Like I have no other, avenue. Where football, like I enjoyed it. But I don't think I was like, this has to be, maybe at that time I thought about it, but now looking back, I was like, I didn't necessarily love it as much as I love music and what I do now. So it's pretty crazy though.
Did you have a music background during that time, or was that something you picked up along the way?
No, I was just more of like a party trick person. Like I would sing at parties or karaoke or whatever it may be. Just wasn't I just didn't take it seriously. I mean, it wasn't the cool thing. Sports was a cool thing. I raced motocross bikes for a lot of years, like dirt bikes too. And to me, that's probably actually my favorite sport. Um, but yeah, it never really was the thing to do. It wasn't the cool thing to do. What
How deep are you into dirt bike racing? I saw, like I said, I've seen the shirts look cool. Was it the trackless shirts look really cool?
Yeah,
You're always on a
yeah.
bike. Like, what is your
Yeah, I
background on
mean
that?
I mean if I could pick one sport in the world that I could have been a professional at, that would have been it. I love it a lot. It was ingrained in me at a very young age. My dad really really big into it. And I still, watch Supercross and motocross on TV when we're on the road or where we're at and some of the guys on the bus are super invested in it, which is cool too and we kind of something we all share and get to watch. So it's one of my favorite sports, probably a sport that I, want my kid someday to try and it's cool.
You get that? You get to do that often, or is that
I don't
very
ride as much anymore. I think that the safety factor
part
of
of the
it.
contract?
Yeah, yeah, there's no contract, but I feel like it's a unwritten message that I'm not supposed to really do. So I do have a bike still. I actually have two, but I don't ride the one at all because I think it would not be
Uh,
good.
what knocked you out of football?
Yeah, I had two ankle, my right ankle. I had like a reconstructive ligament surgery, and then kind of did the same thing again and had to get it fixed again. Which, rehabs on ligaments it's a long process. Like it's 4 to 8 months, and it was pretty frustrating when you come back. And I think it was like my second day back on the field. Same thing happened again, and it's like okay, reset and do it.
Hmm.
Go through another almost half a year of rehab. So. I just completely had lost, my love for it. I was tired of wearing a boot or like a cast boot walking around campus. And where I went to school in London, Ontario, I mean, it was like cold and you'd be in a foot of snow and I'm wearing my toes are hanging out of a boot
Uh-oh.
walking across campus and it was not for me anymore. So and I'm very grateful. I had a great relationship with the head coach there, Greg Marshall, and somebody still now that's a great friend, and he comes out to shows, and he just sat me down and he goes, and I think it was really interesting to have a conversation with him where he looked at me and he goes, Josh, you know that you can do so much other things, and this is not your life. And he really looked at me like that and was like, if you're not completely in this, like, just don't. And I completely agreed with him that day. And I'm kind of grateful that he didn't, force me to stay around.
Well, how did music then become the next outlet without any so quote experience?
Yeah, I mean, while I was injured, I picked up a guitar. When I was like younger, I would write lyrics down, like not lyrics, like little short stories in a book, like about how I felt, almost like journaling. And I think that was me in a way songwriting before I was songwriting. And then also just yeah, with the injuries, picked up the guitar, YouTube, learning how to play chords and figure things out, and then a little bit of piano, and that's kind of how it all started. I just learned like a couple songs and would play them over and over again, and then I would start writing my own lyrics and putting it over the same chords, and um, it just kind of spiraled to I guess where we're at now.
I mean, do you remember the first song that you actually wrote the lyrics and I guess the music at least to go with
I
it?
do. Yeah, it was called Cheap Red Wine. I think was the first song I wrote. That was with a buddy of mine. I wrote a couple other ones on my own. I can't remember though. They were terrible though. I know that. I can remember some of the words, but I don't remember the names of them. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool to think back. I mean, at that time, I probably thought it was like the best song ever. And then you realize you get humbled very quickly, but it's good.
Well, did you think? I mean, did you think when you started writing songs like that? I mean, that you're going to be go from football to a global superstar? Was that ever in the cards, or was that like I'm just going to play this? Hey, play local bars and play local whatever. without
Yeah,
any, or do you have
I
a
don't,
big long term?
right. I don't think I would have been able to do that. Like just I'm just so competitive. Um, I feel like I feel like I always somehow like it weirdly like knew that music was going to take me somewhere. I just, obviously still fully don't know where I'm going with it. But I just know that this is definitely like my purpose and the thing I'm supposed to do. And um, yeah, so I feel like there was always like that burning feeling that I was chasing something that was right. I just wasn't sure what it was yet. Um, and yeah, just grateful for where things are heading.
Was there a moment that you said, okay, now I made it. Now I got it. Now I'm on the right track here.
I think this year has been a great year for me. Even last year, I mean, the last 2 years have been really good, and like that, I definitely know I'm on the right track. I'm like again, so I have to like sit back and think of all the moments because it's just I'm so grateful. There's a lot, and I don't necessarily always get to reflect on them, but there's definitely been some shows, special venues, awards that I've gotten the last couple of years, whether that's in Canada or here in the U.S. and um, song releases, my first number one at U.S. Country Radio, which was a big one for me moving here, and been a lot of wins, which I'm very grateful for.
Well, with that, I mean, doing that, I mean, sw making the switch. I mean, you still have a defensive back mentality. You still train like one.
I like to think I can, and then I realize I can't. Even in London, I went one morning and wanted to just let out some energy, and I started doing like power cleans and stuff like that. And the next morning, I woke up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have not been this sore in my shoulders and my back of my lats and traps for so long." And I feel like every once in a while, I still feel like I can do it.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely can. I just, it's just easier to go do like I would say more of a beach muscle style workout than a physical athletic workout, but it's still fun. I would be curious. I would like to go do my testing would be cool to just go see where I'm at and see if I can improve and try to get back to where I was.
Oh, that would be a great story right there.
Yeah.
You got to give it a shot. What do you do right now? Like, what is your routine like?
Um, I've just kind of put it into the body. I mean, I used to do for me my programs used to be like a max effort upper and then a dynamic lower the next day off, dynamic upper, and then max lower the following. It was usually like a 4 day split. It was usually what I used to do for football sports. And then obviously off days was, running, core, that kind of stuff. Now I just do like the traditional, it's like, you know, back and buys, tricep, chest, do a leg day and kind of do those kinds of splits now. Mix in a little core at the end and maybe start off or finish with cardio. So it's a little different. I do definitely miss like the more dynamic and movement style exercises like you do in sports. Um, but I think it's a little safer to do what I'm doing now. So,
What were your power clean numbers back in the day?
oh, I actually had that number not too long ago. If I can remember correctly, I think it was 285 pounds. I don't know what that
Ooh,
translates into, but I would have to look. I got my phone
sure.
here.
And
But
you're like, what 185 around that weight?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I was about 185 pounds then, yeah.
that was college or high school?
That would have been the end of high school because I was actually went to a bobsledding for like on the ice, like to do possibly like for our team, Ontario, Team Canada at the time.
Mhm.
It was just an avenue that a lot of football players ended up like going to the Olympics in bobsledding, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to like try out and see what it would be. And I had to go to a testing camp and um, but yeah, I think it was something like that and somewhere around there. I can't fully remember.
Is bobsledding like the Canadian equivalent to like a NASCAR pit crew? The guys who get out of football do
I,
that?
I guess I don't know. I think it was just a cool like physical activity that you can do. I also knew that there was a guy named Jesse Lumsden who went to the same high school as me, um, played for like the local CFL team. It was something that he did was, go do that and um, kind of made me want to, try it. So
Now,
I'm
is
trying
there
to, I'm still trying to find my results for you, but I can't.
was there a different kind of conditioning now as a performer than there was? I mean, for sport, I mean, I would think there would be, but is there a different like you
Yeah.
still have to
I
be in
mean,
shape, but not as?
I think
aggressively
it's just,
pushing?
yeah, I think it's just a lot of breath control work. So it's like, honestly, the best way to train for singing and is probably like sprint and then stop and sing a verse and then sprint again and sing a verse. And because it's kind of like that, you kind of like move around, you place, you sing, and then you're moving while you're singing. So I think it's probably it's probably more like that interval style training would, translate well, like a lot of the hit style stuff.
Did you do anything like that? Is anything that part of your routine in any way, or?
I used to jump rope and sing. I haven't really done that as much. Sometimes I would still do that before I go on stage, is just like do skipping rope in the green room, but um, not as much. I haven't been doing as much. I probably should. You're making me realize the things I should be doing, which is good.
So what is the routine like?
Like for
For
show
you?
day for
For
me,
show,
or
yeah, show day.
I was, get up, start my day with a coffee. That's my thing. Try to get a little sunshine if I can, and then lately it's been great. A couple of guys on the band, really been getting into working out. So we try to find a local gym. Say by like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Get back by 1 or 2, and then we sound check 3:30, and then I usually have like a meet and greet situation by like 5:30, and then we're on stage, anywhere between 7:30 and 9, depending if it's our own show or not. So, try to be active. Sometimes go for a run if we can too, depending on where we are. If there's like some trails or scenery. Um, but yeah, it's been good to find a routine on the road. I think that's the hardest part about being, in weird time zones and schedules, and is like sometimes you just got to force yourself to do it,
Hmm.
and get back on track.
I mean, is there a way to do it? But since you know you're going to be on the road, like say tomorrow, probably maybe the weekend, I'm assuming that you already know it's kind of like a formula. It's kind of almost like a set schedule that you have a formula. Thursday, day one, I'm going to do A, and then by Saturday.
Yeah, I'm so just like no necessarily formula. Like, I mean, I landed in London, the UK, was it last week? And I forced myself. We got in at 8 a.m. and I just stayed up all day till 10 p.m., went to bed like it was a regular day in London, and got up in the morning at 8. I went down to the gym and worked out for 40 minutes in the hotel. And I could tell I was dragging my butt, but I was just like, okay, let's just get up like it's a regular day, and treat it like a workout, and just try to get my self back on schedule. I think a lot of it is just you have to like force yourself to get back on schedule versus just taking naps here and there, and then your body's all thrown off kind of thing.
Now, do you find a way to fish when you're on the road, or?
I do have a fishing pole. I have a little tackle box.
Okay.
So it's really cool about a lot of the like fairs and festivals that we did this summer is a lot of them have like ponds, or there's a lake nearby or whatever. And if I have an hour to kill, I'll go try out and see what there is. So there was actually a couple of really good ones this year that I got to go to, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, I try to if there's a rod on the bus, if I can do it. And yeah.
What is your nutrition like? Would you could you I guess cook what you eat, what you catch, or?
I usually throw back the fish that I catch. But no, nutrition wise, I mean, I'm trying to, I'll allow myself to have a treat, or like a treat or a cheat day, and but I try to be conscious of like, protein intake, and that's something I kind of just base my meals off of that. Um, and then if trying to cut down a little bit the last while, so was a little more calorie deficient for a minute, and then also just I hadn't been drinking, and alcohol, I think it plays in a big part of that. So I kind of was taking a break on and off with that, which has, allowed me to kind of drop some weight in the last couple of months, which has been great.
So what's the biggest hurdle then when you are on the road in a different hotel, different location? You may not know where a Whole Foods is anywhere. Like, how do you have any type of preparation, any type of plan, or is it
Yeah, I try to keep
whatever?
those like pre-made meal, like the factor meals,
Mhm.
like come in the mail. I use those in the bus, so I got a couple of those. I always make sure they're in the freezer, and then, that's like a last resort. And if the guys are going to stop and get McDonald's at 2 a.m., I pull one of those out and I eat that instead. And it's been really good. I think that it's kind of what you make of it. Sometimes you have no choice, and you got to, you need to eat, or you're going to get sick or whatever. So, um, but yeah, no, I try to just find a balance as much as I can. Protein shakes, protein bars, all that kind of stuff.
Well, how much time are you going to have now between, I guess, the end of this tour and is it the Later Tonight tour that begins
Correct.
within February or January?
Yeah, that'll be February. January will be all kind of like the production and getting the stage ready and designs and all that kind of stuff. And then getting the band ready and rehearsing. So I'll get, about a month or so off. I mean, we'll have the odd show around
Mhm.
and throughout the holidays, but I'll get a good 4 weeks of quieter time anyway.
Now, is that a time to relax, just chill, do whatever you need, or is that a time now just to prepare or get yourself mentally ready, physically
I,
ready?
yeah, I think a little bit of everything. I think it's, personal life stuff too. Get that, get life situated a bit, spend some time with the dogs. I have little tasks around the house that I want to get done and, the odd thing that I need to get painted or cleaned up or, renovate a little bit. So I also enjoy doing those things and I try to do those things over the holidays.
And do you have a home gym or in Nashville, or do you go to a local one, or how?
I go to a local one near kind of where I live. And then I also just have like a, dumbbell set and I have like a little garage setup that if I need to do a quick 40 minutes or 45 minutes, I can do that at home too.
Is it hard not to run into another singer at the gym, or?
Not where I live. I moved a little bit out of the city just
Okay.
to have some quiet, space. But yeah, no, I'm probably going to go back to a gym here in town soon, just because when I come into the city a day like today, it would just be nice to have gone to a gym here this morning, or go out at the end of the day. So I'm sure I'll be running into people, which is it's nice to say hello, but sometimes you just also want to work out and not be and not see people.
So
So
true. So
that
true.
was actually one of my I think they did a thing like when I was in high school. It was like things people do in the gym, and mine was wear headphones even if I'm not listening to music, so Josh didn't have to talk to anybody. And
Oh, so smart. So smart. Do you listen to anything, or?
I do when I'm working out, but I was always the person that was like, I'm at the gym to work out and not be there for 3 hours to socialize. So yeah, it's funny. I'm still similar when it comes to that.
Was it easier than, I mean, for songwriting, is it easier to go to be outside of the grind of Nashville, or do you have to go in there? Well, I guess you're there now, but I mean, to
Yeah, I
work.
get what you're saying. I feel like lately we've been doing like it's kind of like more retreats. So instead of writing every day from 11 till 4, I'll just do 3 days straight at like a cabin with a group of people and we'll write for 15, 16 hours a day. I've been enjoying that. I think that I'm getting the most productivity out of that. I feel like that you get to kind of hang out and vibe a little more. Guys get to have a drinks, get to, grill out, have food. It just feels more of like a more relaxed setting to write. So I've been enjoying that.
So you said 16 hours, you said?
Yeah, some days, I mean, we'll start at 8 or 9 a.m. and we'll go till about 2 in the morning. So
Well, like how much do you get done when the day's over?
on average there, we were writing, I mean, there was a lot of people. We had about eight people on the retreat. We were writing anywhere between 4 and 6 songs a day.
Damn. Like how, can you take me through that process a little bit? Just like 9 o'clock. I mean, you just
Yeah,
get up at 9 o'clock, 9:01, you're sitting there with a pen and paper in your hand, or is it
I'm
just
having
like
a
a little more
coffee. Yeah,
casual than that? Or
just like the bus, I got to start with my coffee, have a minute, and then yeah, we kind of set up like two rooms, and I'm lucky that I'll start in one room, kind of help with the ideas and get it going, and then I'll go to the other room and help the ideas and start getting it going, and then I'll go back and forth. And I'm fortunate I get to kind of like write in two rooms at the same time. And again, it's not like we're not in a time crunch of like, hey, we have to be done by this time. It's like, okay, if we all need to take a break for half an hour, if one room needs to take a break for an hour and the other one wants to keep going because we're on to something really great, then I spend the time over there and then I come back to the other one. So I've been really enjoying doing that process.
I mean, you need a mindset for that. Do you need like to be honed in
Yep,
on
yeah, we
it's
do.
writing
We have
time,
like
or just walk in randomly and just say, hey, okay, let's go write something.
no, we have like a little studio, like mini, they call it like rig setup, where like we'll lay like a guitar down, then we'll sing a vocal so we have it, and we have like a rough demo from that day.
Are all your hits, are all your biggest hits, have they come from these type of sessions, or is something come from, say, hey, your headphones on in the gym doing something, or just something somewhere random? How does that?
I would say a lot of the record, I would say probably 6 or 8 of the songs on the record came from a retreat that we did last, or two retreats that we did last year. We just did one 3 weeks ago, maybe, and we wrote 10 songs, which was great. I'm sure a couple of them will make whatever we do next. And Yeah, they're definitely, they're just good. And the nice part is you pick people to be on the retreat that you know that you have had success with in the past, versus, trying new people. Like sometimes you do in the city, you try to write with new people when you have just one day.
When's the last time you had a good rest or consistent rest?
Um, I think like last weekend, I mean, I took a day, which was good, and
Mhm.
just, got to fish and hang out and um yeah, I think sometimes sleep is the hardest part, you just kind of wind down and not think about too many things, not even just music related. I think you get to think about personal life and family and just finding balancing all the different pieces of life can sometimes be interesting.
What's then the hardest part of the entire grind of touring, performing, songwriting, trying to stay in shape, all of that?
Yeah, I mean, trying to stay healthy, I think, is probably the top three for me. And then, just missing being home and missing like just like seeing my home and probably my dogs. I miss the dogs for sure. I love them a lot, and um, I don't get to see them as much as I'd like. So
I think the last question would be like, what's next for John Schross? What's after this interview, after like I said, this tour comes to an end?
yeah,
What do you got
just
going?
yeah, more music. We got a bunch of stuff again that I'm excited about for next year, some tours that haven't been announced yet. And yeah, just really, really looking forward to what we got coming. Just there'll be a lot of music and definitely a lot more shows, and I'm excited.